May I ask a warm welcome for Richard? Come on, guys. McCrossan.
Thank you. You build me up far too much. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm kind of like Jürgen, as he said yesterday, in that this is my first time on stage at GForce as well. And I don't know how Jürgen prepared to handle that, but I just thought back to what many of my school teachers told me, that if you're nervous and speaking in front of a group of people, just imagine them all naked. Did you always have that tattoo? No. But no, don't worry, guys, you all look great. And I can confirm that Marine does have a Harley Davidson tattoo on his arm. Okay, you can put your clothes back on. So I hope you all enjoyed the party last night. Unfortunately, I had to leave early. I was kind of expecting a bit of sympathy there. You're a great audience. I had to leave early, which was unfortunate for two reasons. Number one, I wasn't able to catch Mark Turner's dancing in person. And, of course, as a Northern Irish person, we're not exactly known for leaving bars before closing time. So, so unfortunately, I had to miss that.
No worries, Richard. No worries. We're going to solve this for you right away.
Oh, what a star. And it's Guinness as well.
Cheers.
Well, I'm working, so I'm not going to be drinking while I'm working. So I hope you all had a great party, but you're feeling fresh and ready to go today, because we've got some great stuff for you in the next couple of hours. Now, one of the reasons why I like GForce so much is because of the conversations that we have. It's a great opportunity to have conversations one-on-one, face-to-face. That's becoming a more rare opportunity these days, as I'm sure you'll agree. And I've had some great conversations with many of you. I'm hoping you've had great conversations with each other, and I'm looking forward to many more great conversations before we all go home. But just think for a minute about all the ways that we have conversations these days. On my smartphone, I have 9 different ways of having a conversation with my wife. 9 different ways. I don't want to use any of them, but who's booing? Yeah, probably. But I'll have you know, I did run this past her before I said that. But that's 9 different ways on my device, and I'm sure some of you are trying to count them up already. I mean, imagine the ways that your customers have of having conversations with you. And when we talk about creating the new conversation, this is not something that isn't already happening, because I can assure you the new conversation is happening right now. It's happening out there right now. Even while we're all enjoying sunny Barcelona, your customers are engaged in the new conversation with your businesses. And we're all familiar with the stories of companies who have fallen foul of the new conversation. But we're not here today to talk about that. What we want to talk about is embracing the new conversation. We've kind of set ourselves quite a high, ambitious target here of figuring out what it takes to create the ultimate customer experience. And I'm very happy to be joined by 3 fantastic guests today who have embraced the new conversation. They're going to share some of their stories with us, and hopefully we'll leave you with some great ideas and great insight on what it takes to create ultimate customer experiences with your customers. So you're not here to listen to me, you're here to listen to our customers. So I'd like to get our first guest on the stage. He is the Contact Center Strategy Manager for the Global Contact Center Strategy Manager for UniCredit Bank. He's coming today all the way from Milan in Italy. Please welcome Francesco Rosato.
Hi, Richard.
Francesco, it's great to see you. Please take a seat. So, Francesco, like myself, you know, it's an intimidating crowd, but to try and make you feel a little bit more at home, we're delighted to bring you a traditional Italian espresso.
Yes.
To make you feel a little bit more at home.
It's too long for us. Thank you very much.
So, Francesco, I think before we start, and I think as a great introduction to our conversation today, you've brought a video with you, and perhaps we can see the video now, and we'll talk about that. a fantastic video there. I mean, perhaps you could maybe translate some of those bits at the end of it, but tell us the whole intention behind this video.
Yes, this video, in the translation, the disclaimer in the video means we give more time to your time. This is the message. And I like this video because I think this is one of the best value proposition that a modern and customer-oriented bank can do. What I mean, I'm sure if I ask to all of you, what do you think about the bank? I'm sure that the reaction will not be good, but probably after a couple of minutes, the more political correct answer will be, yes, the bank is something necessary, but it's so boring, it's stressing. And so the less time it takes to me, the happiest I am. And we are aware of this, we understand this, and so we are working in order to enable you to interact with the bank faster, leaving you more time to do what you like to do.
Wow, we give more time to your time. I think that's a great tagline. We first met a few months ago when we talked about conversations, and I really enjoyed listening to how you view what we talk about, the new conversation. Perhaps you can share some of your thoughts about what the new conversation means to you.
A new conversation means, to me, Abby, the girl of the video before, but also, if you want, my son Federico, which is 23 years old, and I mean that means new generation, because I'm convinced that the banking needs of people will not change along the time. They will need to do transaction, they will continue to need financial advice, but the more and more they will do all this through remote channel, and the more and more they will not want to go anymore physically in a branch. Mm-hmm. And so I'm convinced the market is going that direction. So to survive in the market, I think we must be able to interact with our customer in a virtual way.
A virtual way?
Virtual way, absolutely.
I mean, how do you see your organization changing to adapt to this new conversation?
I think the change will be huge. The way of working of employees in the bank and the organization will change. I'm really convinced that contact center technology will spread along the company, going also in the branches, in the back office. Because if you imagine a business environment in which paper contracts are substituted by electronic files, a physical signature is substituted by a digital signature, and face-to-face meetings are substituted by video calls. When we are there, I think that the concept of presence, estimated waiting time, skill-based routing, customer value-based routing, speed of answer, all these concepts that today are common for the contact center will apply also to the relationship manager and also to the back officer. That means that I think the bank will transform gradually in a giant virtual contact center in which every employee interacts with the customer through unified messaging tools.
Okay. Okay.
And this will change also, obviously, the distribution model of the bank, because I think that from a network of physical shop in which customers interact with physical bankers, we will go in a situation of very different virtual shop in which customers interact with virtual bankers.
Okay, yes, I mean, that was going to be my next question about the opportunities that this presents for you then.
There are mainly, in my opinion, two big opportunities. The first one is that the network of virtual shops is several times bigger than the network of the physical shops. And so also the opportunity to talk with customers, but also with prospects, will increase a lot. And this is a big opportunity to make business. And the second one is that thanks to the virtualization of the banker, the physical banker can be a virtual banker, this virtual banker can go everywhere. He can go proactively where the customer is, instead to wait for the customer in a branch. And these are, in my opinion, two big opportunities to use.
Okay, wow. Now, we're painting a good picture here, but obviously there are challenges Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly three. The first one is that the competition will increase a lot because, let me say, the customer effort to change a bank will be close to zero because it will be a matter of few clicks. When you have a digital signature, you can change the digital contract. You can change the bank in few clicks. And this is the first. If you want, this is a challenge mainly for the marketing and the efficiency of the bank. The second is that the customer experience must be obviously coherent along the multiple channels. And this is a challenge for the CRM, mainly.
Okay.
And finally, we must be able to transform our physical bankers in virtual bankers, able to move in this virtual shop. And this is, in my opinion, a matter of contact center technology.
Okay, wow. So, I mean, we've kind of touched on this already, but how would you sum up the challenge for multi-channel banking?
Four pillars. The first is, as at the beginning, give more time to customer time. Second, do more business in the less time remaining for the bank. Third, do this with less people in a bigger shop.
Okay, wow.
And last but not least, make it less boring and more funny.
Less boring. Make banking less boring. I think we'd all support that. Okay, so thank you very much. I would like to maybe ask one last question. We're here today to talk about what it takes to create the ultimate customer experience. So I'd like to ask, in your opinion, what one word or phrase do you think sums up the secret to creating the ultimate customer experience?
Let me say, be like an octopus. Be like an octopus in which you have one single real-time brain for multiple legs. So the brain will be the CRM, the multiple legs are the several channels you may have in the future.
Wow, the secret, be like an octopus. Okay, thank you, Francesco, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, time to get our second guest on. From England, but now living in Dubai, he is the head of resource planning for Emirates Airlines. Please welcome Richard McFarlane.
Thank you.
Richard, good to see you. Thank you. Take your seat.
Is everyone still naked?
No, they've put their clothes on now.
Shoot.
Otherwise it would have got a bit distracting. Richard, thank you for joining us today. I mean, we've known each other a long time now, and I think when we first met about 5 years ago, it was at the start of the ICFD journey that you were going on, and you presented to us at the time, and we were left in no doubt about your expectations when it came to customer experience.
Yeah, I still remember the presentation. I think we used an image of a couple of our original aircraft, started 25 years ago, and they were flying to Pakistan. And His Highness had thought that it would be a good idea to extend the red carpet for the first clients traveling onto our aircraft. And we've really used that as an analogy ever since. We want to project the impression that if our customers are coming through to our call centres or coming through onto our website and think about buying a product from us, which we really enjoy, then we want them to be on the red carpet, and we want to offer an open, extended hand to them and walk them through all of the process so that their journey begins really when they're looking at us as a potential supplier, not just when they step on one of our wonderful pieces of kit.
I think anybody that's flown airlines can relate to that fact, because certainly Emirates Airlines is known for the quality of the travel experience. How do you apply those brand values to your role in customer service and sales?
Well, I think when we started our deployment project with Genesis several years ago, we really had to try to get as much of the customer contact and customer interactions coming through our Genesis platform. And today, I'm absolutely delighted that we're able to say that of all the contacts that come through to us on a daily basis, the voice calls that come through, 87% of the calls from across the world land directly on the Genesis platform and are interacted by a Genesis agent who we've trained up and are able to serve properly.
Wow.
So that's a fantastic achievement from a brand perspective. We're able to deliver consistently the experience that we want them to receive wherever they are in the globe.
Okay, wow. I mean, I'm sure it sounds great now, but I'm sure there's been challenges along the way. I mean, what kind of challenges have you faced?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I mean, I think in order to achieve what we've done today in terms of delivering our sort of consistent customer experience globally, we had to refresh all of the technology in the contact centers, and that took a lot of energy from our contact center managers and from the IT project teams in order to be able to realize, and not just changing the technology, but re-engineering the business processes so that we were able to focus on the interaction with the customer and not worry so much about our other challenges around growth or technology and all of these other elements.
Wow. Okay, interesting. So, so now that you've achieved all this, what have you found are the benefits to this now, and maybe some of the negatives as well?
Yeah. So benefits. I mean, we talk a lot about growth, and for the Emirates Airline Group, growth is a real challenge. We're roughly doubling in size every 5 years. Put it another way, we add a KLM airline onto our airline every 3 years, which is a challenge in its own right. But we're able to leave the growth issue behind because we have a strategy for it, and we're able to add new agents onto the platform whenever we need to. So we've removed the growth challenge. From a benefits perspective, we're absolutely delighted that we're able to include an element within our strategy now, such as VHT. So our president is very uncomfortable that we expect that some of our customers have to queue in order to get through to us. So if we detect in any of the countries that we provide, which is 40 at the moment, if we detect that the estimated wait time is longer than 2 minutes, we offer the customer the opportunity to go into the virtual hold environment, and then we'll call them back at our expense when we're ready to talk to them.
Okay. I mean, something that I'm interested in is, we talk about customer experience. But often it gets put to the side a little bit when we prioritize projects based on cost saving and things like that. I mean, have you found yourself prioritizing projects that are customer experience focused over maybe things that are more cost saving?
We've had a lot of initiatives that we've been kicking around for a while now that we desperately want to deploy into the environment. The ones that take the precedence are the customer service ones, because we really want to differentiate ourselves from other carriers, from other Gulf carriers, from other airlines, and to make sure that we're offering the very best customer experience when it comes to the contact center space. So it's always the customer that gets the first bid.
Okay, wow. Now, last time I was in your contact center in Dubai, I saw your wallboard.
Yeah.
Now, wallboards are not usually the most interesting things, but yours really stood out for me. Perhaps if we can show the image on the screen, because really, for me, it summed up in one screenshot what was probably fairly unique about your operation. They're saying that 6 centers around the world, Dubai, Melbourne, New York, Mumbai, Manchester. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that last one. But it really struck me just the scale of your operation, and I guess the challenge that you have in trying to create an experience across the globe.
Yeah. Well, I suspect that screenshot was taken for 1:30 in the afternoon, so it's not a bad time. It's a good performance for that time of the day. But we connected those 6 centers onto the Genesis platform over the course of a couple of years. We fully workforce manage them, and we run them from the Dubai head office, and it's a fantastic position to be in. We're able to see the ebb and flow of the calls globally around the world. We know that in Dubai time speak, Melbourne wakes up at 1 a.m. Dubai time, and we see the calls peak and start to run through. We virtualize most of the calls into our hub, Dubai and Bombay, but we try and answer the premium customers locally, and that's why we've got the presence across those sites.
Okay.
But with 40 countries feeding directly onto the platform, it's an interesting challenge from a resource planning perspective and from a skills matrix perspective. But it's also, well, maybe it's a bit geeky, but it's fantastic to sit and watch and just see the whole day map itself out. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it?
What kind of challenges does that present for you in terms of providing that kind of consistent customer experience? Because I think you've used the illustration before. You can wake up in one part of the world and go to sleep in another.
Yeah, so 85% of our customers overfly Dubai, so they don't stop in our stronghold, if you like. They wake up in Switzerland and they finish their day in Singapore. And they expect the same level of service when they call us from their home in Switzerland as when they call us from their hotel in Singapore. And in order to do that, we've really had to push the boundaries of our capabilities to make sure that the IVRs are common, that the call experience is common, that the languages that we offer are common, wherever you're dialing us from across the world. And I think today we recognize 18 languages on the platform, and we need to have those advisors available to be able to call when we recognize that that customer is going to want to contact us.
Okay, wow. Okay, so maybe move on to the next. I know we're going to take the image down now, thank you.